an area where I get stuck on in terms of what's my cherry ripe. Well, I'm looking at, and I will just put in there, Bitcoin's price action is really encouraging. I did a write up for the masterminds for my weekly outcome, and I'm so encouraged by uh, Bitcoin's performance through this entire series of events. It being down 50 something percent already, MicroStrategy down 77, 74% already. A lot of the quantum stuff, a lot of what we're seeing right now just feels priced in. The big sellers have already sold. Now, what we're seeing is kind of around the edges. Can that push us a little bit lower? Absolutely, but it's harder. So let's just have a look at gold here. Now, I know gold is the two sides of the same coin of Bitcoin, and looking at it here in my squiggles that I had, and I did anticipate that gold would have some kind of relief bounce here, potentially a dead cat bounce, which would be a lower high. Now, when things top out, that is exactly what we usually see. We see the original peak, where you see the big drop down, breaking the trend, and then we have the counter rally back to the underside of resistance. So gold is actually my cherry ripe, because on the weekly, this is very, very encouraging. It's come down to the 50, and also it's reclaiming some of the short-term moving averages. Plus, it's got this tower bottom setup, this really nice candle, then the green engulfing here on the weekly. Obviously, we have 4 days, 21 hours until that happens. And why I'm saying it's a cherry ripe, it's not because I think it's going to new highs anytime soon, but it's because the setup here can give us a good 8 to 9% potential into that overhead resistance. Wonder watches, I'm fiercely focused on things that have been performing of late. And I think that's a sensible place to start instead of trying to anticipate things happening. So Tau has had a really strong run up. It's also been really noisy in socials and on Twitter and elsewhere. That tends to throw up some red flags for me. I saw that Jason Calacanis from, what's it called? Very famous podcast. It escapes my bloody mind. But he's saying it's better than Bitcoin and all this stuff. That's generally when you hear it at the back end when people are being used as exit liquidity. So I'm very cautious about that. However, I look at this chart here and I see this very clear downtrend has been broken with a higher high. Now, the first breakout of downtrends, like over here, is never really the right one. Is this the true one? We can't know for sure, but what I do foresee happening here is at a minimum, this comes down to the 200. We test this 200 again. It broke out here and all the way up. It's coming back here. It just has to hold this level, 289, 290. If it can secure itself there when we see some kind of bullish engulfing candle on the weekly, I think that's a really smart area to look at bidding, because this structure's here really nice. This consolidation, then shoot up. Back here, I want to see that level secure before we go higher. So an area that I'd be looking at Tau, and I think that aligns too with Tau coming down to the 50 on the RSI to retest that level that it struggled with previously. So 290, that type of region is a good buy zone in my view. And then a movement from there, I mean, it's a huge move. It does get going, 70, 80, 90%. This is just bearish. It rolls down. It's in an ascending triangle. It's broken down from that triangle, and it does look like it wants to just find some liquidity lower. It's also finding resistance against the 50 on the weekly RSI too. So I look at this and I just think this wants to hunt down for some more liquidity, maybe 267. Let's see if there's anything on the daily that could give us maybe some pause. And it's, yeah, well, there you go. It's stuck beneath the 200. So that's a really good barometer. This can easily flip from bearish to bullish if it just does that. It gets above there, closes above that 381 level. Happy days, let's go. But right now, this is just giving me longer term bearish vibes. I think there is the opportunity for it to sort of pump and chop in here and confuse people and do all that lovely shit. But if you can wait for that, or if you're shorting the market, I'd probably say you need to wait for some kind of conclusive close. Yeah, I think the problem here is the money to be made shorting is probably largely finished. Now we're seeing the positioning for, hopefully what comes as a fairly strong reversal move in the other direction, fairly soon. And that is across the board. So, hi guys, thanks for watching today's short altcoin Bible. If you want to watch the premium version of this session where I look into Bitcoin, where I think it sits, where the macro's at, my goodness, what a hellhole. And I also cover some additional cryptos and also give more advanced detailed insights into buy levels and sell side levels. If you're interested in that, make sure to become a newsletter subscriber by clicking the link below and you can access the premium version today.